Hi and welcome to the Happiness Safari podcast. I'm Nadine and my mission is to help you to get to know yourself and connect with yourself physically and mentally through yoga and coaching. And today I want to talk to you about my biggest passion. Can you guess what that is? Yes, it's Bikram Yoga. In this episode, I will tell you everything about the endless health benefits, my personal yoga journey, and how you can get started. First of all, what is Bikram Yoga? It's a challenging, physical demanding practice, and it involves performing a set of 26 postures and 2 breathing exercises in a hot room, 40 degrees Celsius. While it can be challenging, it's also adaptable. And the good thing is, you can do 1% of the posture. If you do it right, you get 100% of the benefits. Who is it for? Bikram Yoga is for people of all ages, fitness levels, and abilities. Bikram says you're never too old, never too bad, and never too late. Never too sick to start from scratch once again. And it's so true. I've seen this in all the studios around the world where I have been teaching. Yoga is the only exercise in the world you can do at any age, and you will get better at it with time. There's always some postures that will improve your health, your mind, or your soul. However, it's always recommended to consult with a doctor before starting a new physical activity, especially if you have any pre-existing health conditions. And who's it not for? Well, I would say it's not for weak people or people who don't like to step out of their comfort zone. I taught many first-timers in my life, and unfortunately, I think 70% of all people who try it once never come back. And why is that? Because it is challenging and it is tough. And yes, you might feel like you will faint, you might feel nauseous, so all you want to do is get out of this hot room. But the people who stay in the room and who come back for a second time are usually hooked for life. Bikram says, give me 30 days, I'll change your body. Give me 60 days, I'll change your life. And that's why almost every studio in the world has a 30-day introduction offer where you can practice as much as you want within the first 30 days. And if you do that, you will see massive changes, especially in your physiology. So before you start this journey, make sure you take a before picture and compare it to your after picture after 30 days. And 60 days change your life, and that's also true. That's why teacher training is over 60 days. And I practiced 99 classes in 66 days of my teacher training. And yes, it did absolutely change my life. So I want to tell you a little bit about my Bikram Yoga journey. It all started in 2007 in a studio in Hamburg, and I was 24 years old, so still pretty young and healthy, and actually had no physical problems at all. I really found the studio more by coincidence because I was working and exercising in the kickboxing studio below the Bikram Yoga studio. And they said everybody who worked in the kickboxing studio could just try the yoga. So I tried. And I was actually so fit that some days I was practicing 90-minute Bikram Yoga class and after went for an hour kickboxing training, or the other way around. The only thing I remember about my first class was that I found the breathing exercise at the start so weird. And I was just looking around and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing here? Because it is a little bit weird and it takes 10 minutes and you just don't really know what to do when you were there the first time. But I was hooked from the first time. I really love the heat. I personally like the heat. That's why I'm also traveling usually to hot countries. And I was absolutely hooked what it did to my body, my flexibility, and I just loved it. So I started practicing, and that really came in waves. So for 10 years, I've been practicing, back and forth, sometimes more, sometimes less, sometimes doing a 30-day challenge, and sometimes not practicing for months, but on average, maybe just once a week. And for me, it was really just maintenance. I did all these other exercises like gym and running and trying to run, or preparing for half marathons and all of that. So I actually practiced yoga just to stay flexible. And that was the only reason. And I think all the mental benefits I didn't really see at that time. And I was that one student who always wanted to have the same spot in the room, and I was usually somewhere in the back. And if somebody else took my spot or a spot in front of me, then I got a little bit irritated. And you know how it is. If you have something in your mind, and our ego is like that, and we want things a certain way, and then they're not like that. And I think there are so many things actually yoga can teach us. Like, it doesn't really matter where you are in the room. And the person next to you in the room is maybe somebody who needs to teach you something. So if you have somebody who is moving a lot or making a lot of sounds or fidgeting or whatever, then that's maybe just testing your own patience and compassion for the other person. So instead of getting irritated and thinking about yourself and the spots you want, you can turn that around and also think about the other people in the room and what they have to teach you. And that's a lesson I learned much later, probably only in my teacher training or even when I was teaching. But when I was a student, I didn't really get that. So when sometimes the teachers in Hamburg would move me and just say, oh, now everybody in the back comes to the front, and they've done these things like back in the days, then I was so upset. And my entire class, I was just thinking, this is not really where I want to be, which is actually so funny if I think about it right now. And but we're all on a journey, and it's been 16 years now since I've been starting my own practice. And 10 years in, I was practicing, and then it just came to me, like, I want to go to teacher training. It was funny because it was always in my head that my teacher in Hamburg said, if you go to teacher training, it will change your life. And back then, 6 years ago, I was so ready to change my life. And so I practiced actually back then in Munich, and I realized, okay, I have to go to the teacher training, and I have to go now. So I looked up when the next training started, and it was 2 months from then in Acapulco in Mexico. And I talked to my boss the next day, and I told him, either you have to give me a sabbatical for 3 months or I have to quit now. And luckily he said, okay, I give you a sabbatical, and he let me go. So I signed up, and I sent all that money across the world without knowing really what to expect. And 2 months later, I was on a plane to Mexico, and then started on probably the greatest journey of my life. And practicing every day in the hot room, twice a day actually, was really challenging. So you think, you're in this nice hotel by the beach, and teacher training sounds super fun. You are there with all these other yogis, and you practice a little bit of yoga, and you have the sun and the food, and but no, it's not really that easy. It was super hard because I was sore from day one, because I pushed myself way out of my comfort zone. In the first class, I was standing right in front of the podium, right in front of Bikram. And I obviously didn't want to disappoint him or disappoint myself. So I was working out really hard. And I got so sore because if you push yourself too much and you have the heat, which makes you more flexible, then after, your muscles can feel sore. So I kept pushing and pushing twice a day. And in between the classes, I had to take Epsom salt baths and just try to recover from the physical challenges. And it was really tough. And then on top of that came the mental challenges, because we had to learn what is called the dialogue. And the dialogue is the way we are teaching, because Bikram found that you cannot teach yoga 101 and then you can just not help enough people. And back in the days in India, yoga was taught 101. So a person would come to the guru and say, I have pain in my shoulders, can you help me? And the guru would tell you, okay, you do posture, I don't know, A, B, C. And then you come back in a week and we see. how your shoulder is. And so people were queuing in India to see their gurus and get the postures they needed to do. And so actually Bikram thought, we have to find a better way to teach many people at the same time. So he invented the dialogue, which we're still using today. And with that, it's a very, very detailed description of all the postures and the exact setup of the postures. So you could teach hundreds of people at the same time, and everybody can do the posture without the teacher physically being there and adjusting you. And I think that's actually pretty amazing. So we had to study this dialogue, and obviously also back then English was my second language and probably not as good as it is now. And also all these medical terms and all the diseases, all the benefits, all the parts of the body. I mean, there were many things I never heard before in my life. So studying all of that and anatomy in English was really, really tough. And they were pushing us out of our comfort zone. And why were they doing that? Because they knew that's the way to grow, and that will make us good teachers. Because only if you suffer as a teacher, and I think every Bikram Yoga teacher who also listens to that knows that we all suffer a lot during the teacher training, we actually develop that compassion for our students. So if I see a student who's struggling in class, like, I know what they are going through. And that was my journey and my teacher training. And when I graduated, I remember that was probably one of the happiest moments in my life. So before, when people would ask me the question, what was the happiest moment in your life? I would say it was my graduation, because Bikram said, now you're holding a passport in your hand, and this passport allows you to travel around the world, and wherever you will go, you will have a family, you will have a community, and you will be welcomed. And you will have a job as well. And it's exactly how he said. So I knew my life changed forever that day, because I had this possibility to travel and to work around the world and to meet people in a very, very different way. So not just going somewhere on holiday, but not really getting to know the culture or the people, but just the opportunity to move to countries like Kenya and live there, and then teach there every day and teach local people who come back from their day-to-day lives and jobs, and you see them in the studio every single day. You see how they develop and get better, and you see new people coming and all of that, and then you're just part of that, and that is just so amazing. And I think that's the greatest gift of being a Bikram Yoga teacher, because wherever you go in the world, you can just send an email, like I did now in Thailand, to Kata Hot Yoga in Phuket, and you say, I'm a Bikram Yoga teacher and I will be in Thailand, can I teach in your studio for a while? And then usually the people say, yes, of course, just come. And that's what you do. And then, you have a home and you have a job and you meet these beautiful communities. And no matter where in the world I was, like, Bikram Yoga people are just really, really special people. They're always the most loving people to meet and to hang out with. And so I'm just so happy and so grateful for this job, and that I'll be able to do what I'm doing now. So that was a little bit about my journey. And now I would like to tell you what you have to think about before attending your first Bikram Yoga class, because I hope I didn't scare you, but I made you curious and you want to try it out for yourself. So the most important thing is hydration. Bikram Yoga is performed, as I said, in a hot room with 40 degrees, so it's essential to stay hydrated before the class. And I would recommend you to drink at least a liter of water before the class and after. And ideally, not so much during the class. I always tell my students, try not to drink so much, because you feel like you're exercising and you want to drink. But really, the benefits of the water you drink, you will receive only an hour later. So if you drink during the class, it's usually too late. And then all this water in your belly can make you feel nauseous. So I would recommend, hydrate yourself before and after the class, and also take some electrolytes in different forms and shapes. If you are in tropical countries, I would recommend fresh coconuts, always the best. But if you cannot get that, you can get coconut water in supermarkets, or just classical electrolytes, or you can make your own electrolytes with some limes and some Himalayan salt in your water. In terms of clothing, I would recommend wear something very comfortable, light, and make sure it allows a full range of motion. But you really want to wear shorts and maybe just a sports top. You don't need long pants or t-shirts because, as I said, it is hot. And I would avoid eating heavy meals before the class, so 2-3 hours prior to the class. Try not to eat. Maybe if you practice in the morning and you feel you have to eat something for your blood sugar levels, then have a banana or a small snack, but not too much before the class. Let the instructor know if you have any health conditions, especially if you have any injuries or conditions that may affect your ability to perform certain poses. Always good to let the teacher know before. And then come with an open mind. Bikram Yoga can be very intense and challenging, but it's also so rewarding. So approach the class with an open mind and be prepared to work hard and push your limit. The most important thing, probably, arrive on time. I realize for some reason that especially the new students are always late. But ideally, if you come for your first class, you should be there 15 minutes before the class. And usually you have to sign a health waiver and you get some introduction before you practice. And also you have some time to mentally prepare, get changed, and get acclimatized in the room. And once you are in the class, a good Bikram Yoga teacher will always give you a special introduction and welcome before your first class and tell you that the most important thing is to stay in the room for the next 90 minutes. I always tell my students it's okay to sit down or lie down the entire class as long as they stay in the room. Why? Because the sequence is designed of 26 postures and designed like the alphabet. So we start with a breathing exercise to warm up the body from the inside. And after, we warm up the spine, then the legs, then the joints, and so on. So every posture prepares you for the next one. And the last posture, spine twist, is realigning the spine. And after that, we will end with another breathing exercise, which cools down the body. So if you're leaving in the middle of the class, you're not prepared to leave the room, and it's very likely that you will feel dizzy. And if you faint outside of the room, the teacher cannot help you. But if you're feeling dizzy inside the room, all you need to do is lie down or sit down and breathe. And the teacher will always be there for you and can take care of you. If you're turning purple or red or blue or whatever it is, the teacher will be there to help you. So I don't want to scare you, but the best thing is really to sit down and breathe. And that's maybe one of the most essential things you can learn in Bikram Yoga, is to breathe in and out through your nose. And we as teachers say this all the time. Just breathe in and out through your nose, normal breath. If you can do that or master that, then the class will become easier and easier. As I said, if you take these intro offers 30 days, sometimes it's also just 10 days, try to practice as much as you can. No matter how your first class is going, try to come back a second time. Because the second time is always better. You already know what's happening. You already know about the heat. It's always the same sequence of postures. So you know what to expect. And the second time will be much easier. And the class actually never gets easier, but you will get stronger. So for you, it will become easier. And I would also like to talk to you a little bit about the endless health benefits of Bikram Yoga. And the first one is flexibility. And a lot of people say to me, I'm not flexible. I cannot even touch my toes. But yoga is not for people who are already flexible. It's for everyone who wants to get more flexible. And when you increase your flexibility, it can help you reduce the risk of injury and improve your athletic performance. So also if you are a dancer or a professional athlete, or you just like hiking or running or exercising, any other form of exercise, by practicing Bikram Yoga, you will get better at whatever other sports you're doing. The second one is strength. Maybe that's also something people underestimate, but yoga makes you stronger and it can tone your body very nicely. Bikram once said, where we are either potatoes, so yoga makes us softer, or we're eggs and yoga makes us harder. So what are you? Are you a potato or are you an egg? And in Bikram Yoga, we actually use all of our muscle groups, which can help you build strength and tone the muscles. This can lead to improved postures, balance. The next one is balance. Obviously, we have a balancing sequence where we're balancing on one leg, and the balance will come with time, but your balance will improve automatically. The next one is stress relief. Bikram Yoga is known for its calming and relaxing effects. The combination of physical activity and deep breathing can help to reduce stress and anxiety, leading to improved mental health and well-being. And I can speak from my own experience here because I suffered from a depressive anxiety disorder, and during that time I felt stressed and sad and nervous all the time for months. But every time I managed to get myself into the hot room and practiced, I felt better immediately after. Just calmer, and everything felt a little easier. Sometimes the feeling lasted even until I went to bed. But nowadays that I'm quite content in general, I realize that I'm always my happiest when I practice Bikram Yoga regularly. Ideally every day. And if I get to do this for several days or weeks in a row, I'm always the best and happiest version of myself. Also, Bikram Yoga gives you energy. We say Bikram Yoga is like a gas station, the only physical exercise which gives you energy instead of taking energy away from you. It also improves your cardiovascular system. The intense heat and physical activity of Bikram Yoga can help to improve cardiovascular health by increasing heart rate and circulation. This can lead to improved energy levels, endurance, and overall health. And we are saying we always create a mini heart attack so you never get a big one in real life. It also improves your focus and concentration, because you need so much focus to hold and perform the postures correctly. And this can help improve mental clarity, focus, concentration, leading to improved productivity and overall well-being. It will also improve your respiratory functions. It emphasizes deep breathing and the use of the diaphragm, which will improve your lung capacity. It also improves your digestion. Bikram Yoga includes postures that helps to stimulate the digestive system, such as wind-removing pose, which can help to improve digestion, reduce digestive issues such as bloating and constipation. It also improves your immune function by increasing the circulation of white blood cells or immune cells through the body. This can help to reduce the risk of illness and improve overall health. And last but not least, it will improve your sleep. Bikram Yoga has been shown to improve sleep quality by reducing stress and anxiety. The physical activity and deep breathing can help to tire the body and promote a more restful sleep. In conclusion, Bikram Yoga offers a wide range of physical and mental benefits, and it can help improve overall health and well-being. Wherever you're looking to increase flexibility, build strength, reduce stress, or improve sleep, Bikram Yoga is a great option to consider. That was all the health benefits of Bikram Yoga, and I hope you want to check out the next class nearby. I will be teaching Bikram Yoga once I'm back in Portugal starting in March, but we have to find a hot room. So I will teach the classes outside, which we hopefully can get between 20 and 30 degrees, so you will still get a lot of the benefits, a little bit less of the challenges because we don't have the heat. But if you can find a hot room nearby, I would say try that. And I also run a Bikram Yoga retreat. My next one is here in Bali in 2 weeks, where we actually have a hot room, but this one is already booked out. But then the next one will be in Portugal from the 1st until the 7th of May, and for the next 2 weeks we still have an early bird price. So if you would like to join this retreat and kick off your Bikram Yoga practice, then join us and start already for 7 days in a row. You will already see that 7 days can change your life, and 7 days can already improve your health massively. You can go to my website and you will find all the details about the retreat there. Also, you can join me online. I'm teaching every Monday a live class, 8:30 a.m. GMT. And if you cannot make that, you can do the online recording. And for that, I recommend you to find a heater in your home and get your home as hot as possible and create your own hot yoga studio wherever you are. So you can join me for that. I will put also the links in the show notes. And I'll also link you a short YouTube video of a Bikram Yoga class I was teaching in Kenya, which was live on TV. It was a TV documentary about the class, so you get a better idea and also visual how it will actually be in the hot room. And I will link you a Facebook page about Bikram Yoga testimonials, where you can read stories from people who've been practicing and how Bikram Yoga changed their life. I will also link you 2 books about Bikram Yoga you should check out. And if you need an outfit, I can recommend you Take It Easy Honey. It's a yoga wear brand specially for Bikram Yoga by a dear friend of mine from my teacher training. She's also a teacher, and I also have a voucher code for you, so I will put the links in the show notes. And yeah, this was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode about Bikram Yoga. And there's so many more good quotes by Bikram, like the right way is the hard way. But 2 of my favorite one is better to suffer for 90 minutes than for 90 years. And in your life, you only have to travel 6 inches, and that's from your mind to your heart. And yoga can help you with that as well. So if I can support you in any way on your journey of yoga, the journey to yourself, because yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self, the Bhagavad Gita, then I'm here to support you. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Get in touch. Find me on Instagram, Nadine Yoga, and comment under this post. Let me know what you think about this episode. Share it with friends. Let me know how your first class went, if you're finding a hot room nearby. So you look for Bikram Yoga or for hot yoga. And if you don't find a studio nearby, join me online or join one of my retreats. I cannot wait to meet you and to talk to you about Bikram Yoga, my biggest passion. And I wish you a wonderful day, no matter where in the world you are. Love and namaste.